For that reason alone, I would at least look into it. Hi, my name is Kimberly Alana, and on my channel, we talk how to work the stage and to not only be a good musician, but a good entertainer, because I don't remember my intros too well. By the way, my friends call me Kim, and we can be friends in my Facebook group. Check the description for the link. Little detour from performing tips, but still related to performing, because it's about getting more performance opportunities. So something I have people often ask me is Gigmasters worth it? Because they see that I am on Gigmasters. So this is going to be more for if you're looking for private events, weddings, or corporate events. There are a few things to consider. Number one is the cost. There is an annual cost or a monthly cost for Gigmasters. In addition to that annual or that monthly membership, there is also booking fees. Every time you get booked, it charges you a fee. I think it's a flat $20 as long as the actual quote you put in for the gig is less than so much amount of money. Now, you only pay if somebody books you, unlike some of the cheaper services where you pay just to put in a bid for it, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I will say that I get a lot of good quality leads from Gigmasters. I get some corporate people. Actually, I get a lot of corporate people. I get some people who are looking for a deal, but not many. Now, that could be the market that I am in. I cannot speak for the market that you are in. Things may be completely different there. There's actually some perks to being on Gigmasters. The first one is SEO. Fun story, this SEO portion is actually why I have my full-time job. I just signed up for Gigmasters, and within 2 days, the person who hired me happened to be looking for singer-songwriters or guitar player, piano player in Louisville, and I was the first person who came up thanks to Gigmasters. I didn't have a good website. I was using Tumblr or something like that at the time. Sometimes seeing you on those services builds credibility. Not really sure why, it just does. They do have member education or webinars, which when you're first getting started, especially, those can be kind of helpful. And then finally, they have contracts that you can use. Oh my gosh, yes. I really appreciated that in the beginning. So they take the information from the gig that you were booked for, it plugs it into a contract template, and makes it so easy for you to send off to your client. Breaking in is a little bit harder now. Like when I got started, there were not a lot of people in the area who were on Gigmasters. So it was kind of easy to get a lot of gigs. Now, it's still possible to get gigs even if your market seems oversaturated. The way to get gigs and to build credibility when you're in an oversaturated market for Gigmasters is to take any outside gigs that you have booked on your own. Ask them if they don't mind going through Gigmasters. Most of the time, because they've already booked you, they already like you and they're willing to do it. And they'll probably leave you a good review as well. That's what I did for my first few gigs because I wanted to look like I was actually out there and doing things. And so those first few gigs I had, they gladly got on the service and gave me great reviews. And from there, it just kind of snowballed into even more gigs. There are other tips and tricks I have for Gigmasters. I will say I am not necessarily the biggest expert in that. There are some people who really are, but I've found success on there and I'm happy to share how I've been successful on Gigmasters. Just let me know if that's something that you'd like to see. I don't know what you guys want. I'm just revamping this channel. So let me know if that's something that you want some more information on. I'll be happy to make it. Keep in mind that 2 to 3 gigs per year can make the entire membership worth it, depending on what your rates are. For me, it evens out after just 1 gig. For somebody else, it could be a couple gigs. Here's some caveats to being on Gigmasters. You can't half-butt this because there's some children who watch this channel. You have to try. You really have to try and get those leads. And you probably need a little bit of sales experience, or at least talking yourself up as if you're the greatest thing ever. Not just being like, oh yeah, I can play for you, sure. Don't do that. You have to really try. I strongly recommend using some templates. You can have canned responses, and I strongly recommend using those. It's not only a time saver, but if you can plot out what you're going to say when you're not feeling the stress of, oh my goodness, I need this gig like right now, it just comes off sounding a lot better. Do everything they recommend to optimize your page, increase your chances of getting booked. They want people to continue to use their service, so they're going to give you the stats and the facts that get people booked. So follow their advice. That being said, it forces you to get your stuff together. I didn't have any videos when I first got on the service, so I made some videos of myself. I didn't have any photos of myself. It forces you to get your marketing materials together. For that reason alone, I would at least look into it. If you're debating to get on Gigmasters or not, I hope that gives you a little bit more direction. I like to open this up to comments and tips and tricks. If you have information, don't hoard your information. Share it. Come share it in the comments and in the Facebook group. By the way, speaking of the Facebook group, you can be a Lone Ranger, but Lone Rangers are lonely and you don't want to be lonely. So come join us. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly tips and tricks. Hit the bell for notifications about new videos. All right, musicians, that's all I got for today's video. Always be performing. I'll see you in the next one. I'm animated. And on my channel, we talk how to